What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 European Conquest. Got all mixed up there. AI only game. Hope you're enjoying the action so far. Not the fumbling intros to videos. But of course, as last episode ended, we were left with a pretty big cliffhanger. The ever overextending Poland Empire. It's been invaded by Russia again, and it seems like this time I think Poland's overstretched, so we'll see how it goes. Gdansk already on the brink of falling as Assyria retakes that city in North Africa again. I mean, we'll just ignore this until they peace out or Morocco starts falling, but whatever. Spain does peace out with the Huns, which means Poland is actually now alone in fighting the Huns. And I didn't even think of the Huns for some reason, but yes, Russia and the Huns on the same front. But at least Poland is now only at war with them. No, wait, they're at war with Rome as well. Jesus. Okay, well, this is not what you want, but Rome does have some rebels. Good old barbarian galley in the heart of the information era. Yep, those submarines cleared that up pretty easily. But yeah, there is multiple cities now on the brink along this huge Polish border in the east. Russia's turn right now, I think. Yep, there you go, Gdansk, and there's no way Poland gets close to taking that back, I would say, although they do have some boats. So maybe they can, but it seems unlikely. And there you go. That's already a huge blow. That was one of their biggest cities, especially post the nuking of Warsaw. So that's going to hurt. And I would not be surprised if other cities meet a similar fate in terms of the pace that happened. And I think, yeah, it's going to really stretch them again. Their units, which means the Huns will likely make more progress. It looks like they're going to grab this city in the south, which will... If they do it this turn, and before they move, Poland could lose 2 bombers and an artillery, which would be a big loss as well in the south there. They don't want that. It all depends who goes first, I guess, and it is the Huns. So yeah, it should fall this turn. There's 3 artilleries in the vicinity, depending on where the north one, the top one could shoot at Krakow, but... And there's also, I mean, these are all mobile SAMs actually, but still, they could all help. But this one and this one, no, sorry, this one certainly could take the city. But the Huns taking their sweet time. But there we go, they do grab that city. It only gave them the tiles around the outside. They obviously settled this later on within their borders, so it didn't have as much of an impact. And they actually took it back, so good job Poland with the marine unit. But they're definitely outnumbered, and they're using a pikeman, which is a bit concerning, but poor guy. There you go. Luckily for them, I guess, a tiny bit, Spain is still offering a few units to sort of hold off Rome, which is probably sparing them a little bit. And Spain is actually still distracting Rome elsewhere. If Spain and Rome were to peace out, I think Poland would then have even more of this border to sort of really worry about. Then it could be problematic for them. Russia did not turn the heat up. Actually, I think it's the same turn. I think it is going ridiculously slow now. The first turn was okay, and now it is going very, very slow. I don't even think Russia have been yet. Maybe they have, because if it's alphabetical. Sweden. I can never tell. Sometimes it's alphabetical by leader's name. Sometimes it's Civ. This game's Civ alphabetical. You can see Assyria's first, and then Sweden was at the end. Some games it's by leader's name. Sometimes it's by the order of the DLCs that came out. It's very confusing. But this game, I'm guessing because it's just vanilla civs, although some of them are from DLCs. Poland is a DLC civ, Huns are a DLC civ, Assyria is a DLC, I believe, Gods and Kings, and Morocco is Brave New World, same as Poland and the Huns. Well, I can't remember, I don't know which one the Huns were. I bought them after they came out, so I have no real knowledge of what was in each pack. I just know the contents of both. I bought them a few years afterwards. I was very small when they first came out, which is terrifying to think about. We'll move on. What are the anti-tank guns? Okay, well, causing Rome some issues as the Huns do retake one city and keep the pressure up. They're trying to sneak round to Warsaw here. You also have Russia sort of power dropping in a little bit, but still no significant siege progress. Did you use all your guided missiles on one city? No, they still have a few, but they're keeping hold of those. Either way, I don't think Russia will take anything this turn, but you never know. The AI shocks me all the time. There's plenty of cities they're supposed to take and they never do. I mean, the Ottomans are still in this game. Let's not forget they are still here. hiding away between. They're gonna get closed off actually and hidden from the rest of the world, but they are there after their difficult period of just being sieged into the ground but not being taken out. Sweden is now the next civ to complete the Manhattan Project, which means, you know, even the worst civs that are kind of remaining are getting there. I imagine England might get there at some point in the near future as well. I think everyone else, I would guess, has got it at this point. Maybe not Egypt, I don't know. But I feel like Egypt was one of the first for some random reason. Maybe that's just made up in my head. This city is still in resistance for 8 more turns for Poland, but then it will become a full-fledged part of their empire. Not that any unit could technically leave if Assyria wanted to, but there you go. Obviously, given their allegiance, they got on the Poland train too soon as well. They saw Berlin falling and they were like, yes, this is our time, and didn't realise Poland would then declare on the Huns and Rome as well and let Russia just amass this huge force in the east. Either way, England and Morocco, peace deal. That makes sense. Good for them. Good for them. Not really sure why they were at war in the... Oh, it was because this city. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess, but wasn't really worth it. Spain, I think this is a pretty new city. Just grabbing a bit more of Wales, just to really rub it in that Britain has not taken the whole of their own island. Just really rub it in. Sweden's also obviously got a part of it. Sweden's trading from Ireland to England. That's pretty brutal too. In fact, Sweden's doing a lot of trade from here. I would assume they could come out this way, but I guess the range isn't good, and maybe they're trying to avoid certain civs. Maybe they don't want to trade with Poland or Germany. Well, definitely, probably can't imagine they like Germany too much. What remains? Do still have a couple of cities over here, of course. Ooh, yeah, this is going to stretch Poland even further. Sweden now getting involved. Russia is also very close to Poznan, which I think is Poland's biggest city, bar the one in the Middle East. So yeah, this could get messy. Sweden's navy certainly can probably match up to Poland's navy just by looking by eye. Maybe not, but at least we'll distract them, pull even more units away, and yeah, this is going to make it even more complicated for Poland's AI. I mean, if Poland can somehow peace out without losing any more cities, that would be incredible. But that's not going to happen, is it? Because Warsaw, well, England's joined as well, which means these boats will now be... They'll also face a challenge in the west. But yeah, Poland is at war with all their neighbours right now, apart from Spain. And yeah, I think they peaced out with Germany, but potentially not, based on this city being a bit low. I can't remember. It doesn't matter too much whether Germany's in or not. But either way, like within the last 20 turns, they have been at war with every single country they share a border with, which is brave, admirable, and they are putting up a heck of a defense here. I mean, it's been 3 turns. Russia's not done too much. Like, taking Gdansk is obviously big. That's Russia's first coastal city that actually, you know, connects to other empires. All they have so far is some lakes, so that's quite impressive, or important to say the least. I mean, they've got a long way to go if they want to, you know, open up the Baltic Sea for themselves, but still, I mean, even just to get out of this area, they're gonna have to take at least 2 more Polish cities. As Poznan does fall though, and that's another coastal one, and more importantly, the borders haven't changed yet, but I'm guessing that might cut off these northern 4 cities from the rest of them, which could be a blow. And that would play into Sweden. Well, at war, I guess you can just move through, but in the longer run, it's going to play into Sweden and Russia's hands. Sweden, with the open borders, moves straight in to pick off some of those Poland units. Influential culture, Poland. I would guess that's probably over Germany or maybe England or someone. I'm surprised no one has influenced the Ottomans, but we'll move on from that. To be honest, I only just noticed the Ottomans were alive a few minutes ago. I've completely forgot they were here. I thought they were gone. But there you go. Assyria, I mean, I'm not sure about this. Them and Morocco, they're just sort of spamming each other. Morocco's going to come out of it worse because they have nothing here, and Spain could probably come take them out. But yeah, Assyria is just sort of funneling units in to die, but they have plenty of other stuff. It's not really a concern. Look at all this they have in reserve. Probably the biggest army, I'm guessing, if I open this demographics up. Yes, it is. 1.4 million. Russia still has the highest literacy rate. Don't read too much into the averages. Obviously, Greece still appears to be alive, and I'm a spectator giving 0 as well. So these will all be lower than what the actual average is. Assyria has lost the economy to the Huns, biggest economy, but population, I think population was already someone else. I don't know if it was the Huns before, but it is now. And a city just fell, but I'm guessing that was one of these two. Or maybe it was one of these. No. I don't know. Don't think so. Rome, there was a Huns-Poland peace deal though. Ooh, and that's good. That will save... I mean, there's not... I was going to say all these units can now defend from Russia. There's not that many here, but there you go. Gdansk went back to Poland and then back to Russia again. I did not... Don't know how they did that. I guess those brave naval units did have an impact. But as you can see, Sweden's now attacking in the north. Russia is heading for another coastal city here. I'm not a fan of the border gore they're going to create, but it does seem actually like a strategic good move. They're going for cities that are closer to their original territory. They're not focusing on going just down the coast. You know, this city's 1 tile away. Go for that one. That actually makes a lot of sense, and it will break up Poland, which will make it really difficult for Poland to do very much. Even if, say, they pieced out just after taking this city, it would make it quite difficult. Huns v Sweden does not matter too much, although it does matter up here. This is obviously going to play into Poland's hands a little bit, because these Hunnic units will start killing the Swedish units. An ideology, that is the Ottomans, finally, picking autocracy. But Spain v Sweden, yeah, that matters, I guess, in Ireland and the British Isles, and maybe even Helsinki here. Yeah, these cities could certainly tempt Spain over, I guess, if they wanted to, but Spain is still just having a bit of a brutal fight themselves with Rome, with no one really coming out on top. They're just throwing units at each other. Rome's another one though. They look pretty empty, the rest of their empire. So yeah, Syria is probably the one civ in the world right now who's not... Well, the Huns have got a lot of units too actually, but everyone... And Russia. Okay, these three in the east maybe are a bit different. Built different. And Spain, I should say. Spain's got a lot too. But they have a lot more boats, so I don't know. Russia does end up conquering this other city, which was up here, which is confusing me because I thought it was this one, but it's this one. And they're probably going to get Gdynia here as well. It's kind of a shame for Sweden, they're going to miss out. I thought they were going to get at least that city. Maybe they could have got some stuff. That's a bit of a shame for the Swedes. But oh well. What can we do? Can't have sympathy for them. They're just the AI. But yeah, Russia certainly turning their sights, I think, on these cities next, which would give them even more Baltic Sea control, and that would allow them, if they puppeted or annexed any of these puppets, then they could start to build some boats, and that would again make them an even more dynamic enemy for the rest of the world. Because until now, they've been completely landlocked. It will also be an economic game changer. They can start sending cargo ships to Sweden's, and maybe they'll ignore Poland. The AI doesn't tend to do that. They probably would still trade with Poland. But you know, whoever they end up trading with, I don't know if anyone's been embargoed, to be honest. I haven't been looking particularly hard at the World's Congress. We'll see if it actually opens. Rome's turn. Oh, here we go. Banning of Wales. So there's no trade with Poland already. I mean, that makes sense, to be honest. Like, Poland, feel bad for them getting wrecked like this, but at the same time, like, they were very aggressive. They attacked multiple. The Huns and Rome, like, why would you attack them? That made no sense, either of those wars. They didn't even do anything. All they did was attack the Huns and nuke them. They didn't take any cities. They didn't even try to take any cities. So they are kind of getting what they deserve. And I can understand that they will be suffering with no trade. Morocco, that seems a bit harsh. I don't know what Morocco did, really. I guess they stole some of those cities, Hamburg, St. Petersburg, but they've since given those back, or had them taken back. But yeah, I'm surprised Morocco maybe being punished there. But I don't know. Hopefully they're doing okay. They have the most oil in the world. Maybe they can sell it and get some money back. Ibiza has been settled. There we go. The party capital of the map. We got it. No real progress being made here, to be honest. Russia. It's very slow. They have like no siege weapons. That's been a choice the whole game, because none of the siege weapons in this game require. Yeah, none of them require you to have a... I think maybe the trebuchet might require iron. Maybe I can't remember. I haven't played for a while. But, yeah, I don't think any of the others do. The catapult doesn't. The artilleries don't require anything. It's not like Civ 6. So it's very weird they've just got, like, no siege weapons. I know they have no rocket artillery. Or at least didn't have any, because they didn't have aluminium. But it seems like a strange choice. Regardless, here we go. Russia should get in. Here. Ooh, ooh. Here we go, their turn. How are Rome doing against Spain down here? This city's very much always on the edge, but no one seems to have it. And Spain isn't making any more significant progress. I don't think Spain have many. They do have a lot of fighters. They have no bombers though, which limits your ability to siege. Rome only has an atomic bomb, so they put it right there. They're really... Maybe Spain's just being cautious. Russia's turn, taking a while. I believe this city might fall. Nope, very close though. But they're putting land units in the sea when there is Polish nuclear submarines. They'll be able to kill at least 2 of those in their next turn. But obviously there is that mechanized infantry on land, and there's paratroopers as well. Yeah, it's pretty much gone. But, you know, Poland will sink a few on the way out. This city also just beginning to come under siege as well. So we click next turn again. We just keep going. Just keep going. 311. I don't know what point we'll switch to highlights. I mean, it will be when it gets to sort of, I don't know, super slow. Which could be, you know, not too far away, but I don't know. I'll try my best, okay? Yeah, I mean, well, we've done like 9 turns this episode, so probably got 1 or 2 more. Probably 2 more. So that's like 11. But yeah, once it gets to like 3, 4, 5, at that point, that's when I start just... I'll show you what happens at 400 and 450, etc. And just... I'll try and go as far as we can. I don't think we'll get to 1 left, which is a shame. But we're getting to that point where I can't force them to declare war, because it just breaks. Because like Assyria and the Huns have too many units. I guess if... The one thing I could maybe do is like force every civ to fight their smallest neighbour. So for example, Spain attacks, I don't know, technically it's Germany, but you know, England. If we pick out like a logical enemy for all the big civs, that would kind of do it, right? Or if we made some of them team ups, like Spain and Rome v Morocco. Assyria could maybe get rid of Egypt, give the Huns and Russia Poland again, something like that. And then obviously, I don't know what you do in Scandinavia and England, but something like that. We could force them to fight like the smaller ones, but then obviously when it comes to making the bigger ones fight, it's still very difficult. Spain, Rome, Assyria, the Huns, Russia, and even Poland still, if they were to get a peace deal and get a chance to rebuild, are still all pretty monstrous nations. I mean, Poland has pretty much all of Germany, Poland, and the Netherlands. Spain is most of France and Spain and Portugal. Rome is most of Italy, bits of France, bits of, obviously little bits of North Africa, but the Balkans as well, which is pretty big. Assyria is most of the Arabian Peninsula, bits of North Africa, and obviously Turkey, and up into the Caucasus. The Huns is most of Ukraine, but also parts of Bulgaria, Romania, all the way through to like Austria, Hungary. Maybe I'm getting that. Maybe Czechia. I'm trying, okay, I'm trying to remember the map. And obviously huge parts of Russia as well. And then, yeah, I mean, Russia is big chunks of northern Russia, or northwestern. And Sweden's, yeah, Sweden. But I don't know why I brought Sweden in. Either way, Morocco completes the Manhattan Project there. I see that. Germany's turn. I don't know what they're doing. They're not even really building units. They're just accepted. They're just given up. That is not a great idea, England. Submarines and privateers. Oh, they are trading with Spain and Iceland. There's some interesting trade routes on this map. Is there like any cool ones in the Mediterranean? Let's have a look. I don't see any cargo ships. I feel like this sea is just a war zone. It's just full of units. It doesn't look like it. I don't even see any Spain to Rome trade units. It's weird. I feel like it doesn't show us all the cargo ships. Maybe it shows us a limited amount, because I can actually only see Spain and England's. I don't really see anyone else's. Well, I did not mean to zoom into the corner. Don't crash. Thank you. Spain settling right next to Sweden. How did a settler get here, but Spain have not gone over there to take it? They did, of course, join that war against Sweden with the Huns, which has maybe just about saved Poland, actually. Look up here. The Huns have pushed into the water and destroyed a lot of those Swedish boats. It's quite impressive. And so far, yeah, Poland putting up a defense against the rest of the Russian forces, but that will be it. Although they did just get the CN tower, just a note there. But that'll be it for this episode. So as always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.